Do you ever open your eyes in the morning after what felt like a full 8 hours of sleep and still feel completely exhausted, like you never slept at all? Do you find yourself reaching for that second or third cup of coffee just to feel halfway human, dragging yourself through the first few hours of the day in a thick, heavy fog? If that sounds painfully familiar, I want you to stay with me for the next few minutes, because today I'm going to explain the real, hidden cause behind this exhaustion. Something almost nobody talks about clearly, something your doctor may have never even mentioned to you. And once you understand it, so much of your morning struggle is finally going to make sense. Let me start by saying something important. Waking up tired isn't something you simply have to accept as a normal part of growing older. I know it feels that way sometimes. I know you've probably been told by well-meaning friends or even doctors rushing through a busy appointment that this is just what happens after 60. But here's the truth, and I want you to really hear this clearly. Tiredness that lingers every single morning, despite a full night in bed, is your body sending you a very real signal, and very often, there is one specific, hidden cause behind it that gets overlooked again and again. So let's talk about what this hidden cause actually is. It's called fragmented sleep, and most people have never even heard this term, let alone understood how deeply it affects them. Fragmented sleep means that even though you're lying in bed for 7 or 8 hours, your sleep itself is being interrupted repeatedly throughout the night, sometimes so briefly that you don't even remember it happening the next morning. These interruptions can last just a few seconds, sometimes less than a minute, happening dozens of times throughout the night, quietly preventing your body from ever reaching the deep, restorative stages of sleep it desperately needs. This is very important, so I want to explain this clearly, because once you understand how sleep actually works, this entire hidden cause starts to make complete sense. Your sleep moves through different stages throughout the night, cycling between lighter sleep, deeper sleep, and a special stage called REM sleep, where your brain processes memories and emotions. The deepest stages of sleep are when your body does its most important repair work, healing tissue, regulating hormones, restoring your immune system, and giving your brain the chance to truly rest. But here's the problem. If your sleep keeps getting interrupted, even by very brief awakenings you don't consciously remember, your body keeps getting pulled back into lighter stages of sleep before it can settle into those deep, restorative stages long enough to actually benefit from them. So even though you might be lying in bed for a full 8 hours, your body might only be getting 2 or 3 hours of truly deep, restorative sleep, scattered in small fragments throughout the night, constantly interrupted before it can complete its healing work. And the next morning, you wake up feeling exactly the way your body experienced the night, fragmented, incomplete, and exhausted, even though by the clock, you technically slept a full night. But wait, here's the part that really surprises most people. What's actually causing these repeated interruptions throughout the night? Because most people assume they're sleeping just fine, simply because they don't remember waking up. This is exactly why this hidden cause goes unnoticed for so many seniors, sometimes for years. Let's talk about the most common reasons behind this fragmented sleep pattern, one by one, because understanding these causes is the first step toward finally getting the genuine rest your body has been missing. One of the most significant and most overlooked causes is something called sleep apnea, a condition where your breathing actually pauses repeatedly throughout the night, sometimes dozens or even hundreds of times, often without you ever realizing it's happening. Each time your breathing pauses, your brain briefly wakes you up, just enough to restart your breathing, but not enough for you to consciously remember it the next morning. This becomes significantly more common as we age, and it affects a surprising number of adults over 60, including people who aren't overweight and don't fit the stereotype most people associate with this condition. If you snore loudly, if your spouse or family member has ever mentioned hearing you gasp or stop breathing during sleep, or if you wake up with a dry mouth, a headache, or that persistent fogginess despite a full night in bed, this is absolutely worth discussing with your doctor. Another major contributor is the increasingly common need to use the bathroom multiple times throughout the night, something doctors call nocturia. As we age, our bladder capacity naturally changes, and many seniors find themselves waking up 2, 3, sometimes 4 times a night simply to use the restroom. Each of these awakenings, even if you fall back asleep quickly, interrupts that deep sleep cycle we talked about earlier, fragmenting your overall rest even though you might not feel like you're struggling to fall back asleep each time. Restless legs and uncomfortable sensations in the legs at night affect a significant number of older adults as well, often creating a frustrating urge to move or shift position repeatedly throughout the night, even during sleep, without ever fully waking the person enough to remember it happening. Chronic pain, whether from arthritis, old injuries, or general joint stiffness, also plays a quiet but significant role here. Many seniors shift positions repeatedly throughout the night trying to find comfort, and each shift, each small adjustment to ease discomfort, pulls the body briefly out of deeper sleep stages, even when the person doesn't consciously wake up enough to remember it. This is very important, so let's talk about another major hidden contributor that almost nobody connects to morning fatigue, and that's anxiety and racing thoughts that happen specifically during lighter stages of sleep, sometimes called micro-arousals. Many people don't experience this as lying awake worrying, the way we typically think of anxiety. Instead, it happens almost entirely below the surface of conscious awareness, your mind drifting toward worry or stress during those lighter sleep stages, just enough to prevent you from settling into deeper, more restorative sleep, without ever fully waking you up enough to notice. Let's talk now about some of the daily habits and lifestyle factors that quietly contribute to this fragmented sleep pattern, because understanding these causes gives you real power to address them. Alcohol consumption in the evening is something many people don't realize actually worsens sleep quality significantly, even though it often makes people feel sleepy and helps them fall asleep faster initially. Alcohol disrupts the deeper, more restorative stages of sleep later in the night, contributing directly to that fragmented pattern we've been discussing, even when someone falls asleep easily and stays in bed for a full 8 hours. Caffeine consumed later in the day, even just one afternoon cup of coffee or tea, can linger in your system for many hours longer than most people realize, subtly interfering with your ability to reach those deeper sleep stages later that night, even if you don't feel particularly wired or have trouble falling asleep initially. Screen time close to bedtime, particularly bright light from phones, tablets, and televisions, suppresses a hormone called melatonin, which your body needs to properly regulate its sleep cycles and transition smoothly into those deeper, restorative stages of sleep. An inconsistent sleep schedule, going to bed and waking up at different times throughout the week, confuses your body's natural internal clock, making it considerably harder for your body to settle into consistent, deep sleep patterns night after night. And a bedroom environment that's too warm, too bright, or too noisy can also contribute to these repeated, brief awakenings throughout the night, even when you don't consciously notice them happening. Now let's talk about some simple, gentle, general awareness-based habits that may genuinely help support more restorative, less fragmented sleep. Always remembering that if you suspect something like sleep apnea, chronic pain, or another underlying condition might be affecting your sleep. This absolutely deserves a real conversation with your doctor, since some of these issues require proper medical evaluation and cannot be fully addressed through lifestyle habits alone. Creating a consistent sleep and wake schedule, even on weekends, helps train your body's internal clock to settle into deeper, more predictable sleep patterns over time. Limiting caffeine intake to the morning hours and being mindful of alcohol in the evening can meaningfully reduce those hidden disruptions to your deeper sleep stages later at night. Dimming lights and stepping away from screens in the hour or so before bed gives your body's natural melatonin production the chance to rise properly, supporting a smoother, more complete transition into deep, restorative sleep. Keeping your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet, using blackout curtains or a fan if helpful, removes some of the small environmental disruptions that can contribute to those brief, unremembered awakenings throughout the night. Reducing fluid intake in the few hours before bed, while still staying well hydrated earlier in the day, can help minimize those nighttime bathroom trips that fragment sleep for so many seniors. And addressing chronic pain through gentle stretching, a comfortable mattress and pillow setup, and a conversation with your doctor about pain management strategies that work for your specific situation can help reduce those repeated nighttime position shifts that quietly interrupt deep sleep. Let's talk about why all of this truly matters, beyond simply feeling groggy in the morning. This is very important, so please really sit with this for a moment. Chronically fragmented, poor quality sleep, even when you're technically spending enough hours in bed, has been connected by researchers to a long list of health concerns that build up quietly over time, including higher blood pressure, increased risk of heart disease, weakened immune function, memory and concentration difficulties, and even increased risk of falls due to daytime fatigue and reduced alertness. This isn't just about feeling tired for a few hours each morning. This is about your overall health, your safety, and your quality of life, day after day, year after year. I share this with you not to frighten you, but because I genuinely want you to understand that this exhaustion you've been quietly living with, maybe for years, isn't something you simply have to accept. There is very often a real, identifiable, addressable cause behind it, and understanding that cause is the first step toward finally getting the rest your body has been desperately asking for. So let's bring everything together now, nice and simply, the way we've been talking this whole time. Waking up exhausted despite a full night in bed is very often connected to fragmented sleep, meaning your sleep is being repeatedly interrupted throughout the night, often in ways you don't consciously remember, preventing your body from reaching the deep, restorative stages it desperately needs. This fragmentation can be caused by sleep apnea, frequent nighttime bathroom trips, restless legs, chronic pain, or even quiet below-the-surface anxiety, and it's often worsened by evening alcohol, late caffeine, screen time before bed, an inconsistent sleep schedule, or an uncomfortable bedroom environment. Addressing these factors through consistent routines, a calming bedtime environment, and an honest conversation with your doctor about anything that sounds familiar, especially symptoms like loud snoring or pauses in breathing, can make a profound difference in how you actually feel every single morning. Before we close today, I want you to know something important. The fact that you watched this entire video, that you took the time to understand the real, hidden reason behind your morning exhaustion, instead of simply accepting it as inevitable, says so much about who you are. You are someone who deserves to wake up feeling genuinely rested, genuinely clear-headed, genuinely ready to embrace each new day. You still have so much life ahead of you. So many mornings meant to feel bright and energized rather than heavy and foggy. So many moments with the people you love that deserve your full presence and energy. It is never too late to address this, and even small, consistent changes can lead to real, meaningful improvement in how you feel. Please be patient and gentle with yourself as you work toward better, more restorative sleep. You deserve real rest, real energy, and real answers, not just another tired morning quietly accepted as normal. If you found this helpful today, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more simple health awareness videos every day. We are so grateful to have you here with us, and we will keep bringing you honest, caring health information you can use in your everyday life. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I will see you in the next video.